It's me, Bree, and welcome to another vlog. This vlog is already starting pretty shoddy, I'm gonna say. I mean, it's not bad, but it is already Wednesday, June 7th, and I've been brainstorming, I guess. Like, I haven't written much this week. I've been brainstorming, though, because I feel kind of stuck in the novel which I'm writing, which is my Project Mermaid, my dark fantasy novel, and I just feel stuck. I've been trying to write and finish my mermaid book because I'm really close to the end. I'm really in like the rising action, like fallout. And I am just like overthinking where this book needs to go. As much as I keep trying to tell myself this is a first draft, I still want it to make sense. Like, I don't want to be writing things just to write them and then have to completely scrap them in draft 2 anyway. But I am kind of stuck at where I want this action to go. I think I have reasons, and I think the reasons make sense for why they're happening and what's going on in the background. Like, so things that the readers aren't gonna fully know until maybe the end and or a possible book 2. And yeah, it's a lot of planning. So I actually reached out to my critique partner today to kind of just like try to verbalize where and what I'm stuck with and see if she could pick out anything based on what she's already read and where the story's going. So she's been helpful so far. She's going to get back to me a little bit more in detail later, but that was really nice just to hear from her and kind of get a little bit more feedback and asked some questions that like I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense and this is something I have to consider moving forward. So that's really the only thing I've done today as far as writing, but I really had high intentions to write more, but I'm just very distracted this week. I always feel like when I have a very messy house, and I'm not going to show you how messy my house is, but it's messy. You can take my word for it. I feel like that's such a deterrent for me doing anything else. And we've talked about mental health a lot in this channel, as well as because I'm a therapist. So I'm very aware of cycles that go on in my life. And this is another cycle that I'm going through, which is pretty common, where things pile up, I get a little overwhelmed, I don't want to do that, and I avoid it. And eventually, like, we'll get there and we'll get through it. But I do need a little bit more help on this matter. So once me and my husband can actually team up and get together and get our schedules that we can work together, I think the house will be fine. It'll get there. It's just not where I want it to be. So that's kind of taking some of my brain power. I've also been really sick. So I got food poisoning, I think, last week from like Thursday into Saturday, and it was pretty rough. Like, I had really bad headaches, I had very bad abdominal pain, I was like sick to my stomach all day, I was tired and weak, so it was not fun at all. That like completely wiped me out, in addition for like both writing and my overall well-being. Like, I couldn't do anything. And then this work week is pretty easy, but it's been stressful trying to coordinate because I've been trying to like get my clients to answer me and just like planning for the summer, and they don't. So yeah, it's just one of those weeks. So I'm really hopeful. I'm gonna clean up a little bit right now and prepare for dinner soon. So I'm gonna make this HelloFresh meal, which was the Parmesan crusted chicken, and it sounds really good. So I'm gonna make that for dinner. It's like about 45 minute meal, and I want to clean up the kitchen before I do that. So we're kind of in just a weird space starting off this vlog, but I want to clean up a little bit, make dinner, and I'm going to do that while listening to The Two Towers. I have my book club discussion, which is still available to join. Link is down below. It's the Autumn Breeze book club, which is, we're reading all the Tolkien works. But yeah, I'm going to get through that. I'm about 9 hours into the audiobook, and I think it's like a 22-hour audiobook. So I'm making some progress. It's definitely going to be done by the time the book club comes around, but I'm really loving this. The Two Towers was always like my favorite movie growing up, and it's really cool to like listen and see like how similar or dissimilar they are to the movies. So anyway, I'm going to go listen to that, and I'm going to get some pickup around my house, and hopefully we'll feel better after that. Hi guys, so it is Friday, June 9th, and I'm so dumb because I just accidentally deleted clips that I had in my video, and I permanently deleted them, so I don't have them anymore, and I'm stupid. But basically it was just me taking some golf shots. I went golfing on Sunday last week, and went golfing because I went golfing, but I was using it as like a research, low-key, because I was like, oh, maybe I can make like a golf course romance, but not in that either of the characters actually play golf. They just meet there and they assume that the other one is really into golf, and it's like a miscommunication trope, but like not the typical one. So I was like, that could be fun to play around with. I probably should golf a couple times though. So anyway, yeah. So I deleted those clips, and it is what it is. I sucked. It was kind of humorous, that's why I kept them in, but like the videos that were taken were when I was trying to hit over water, and it wasn't that much water I had to hit over, and I failed both times I tried. So anyway, I have a TikTok of it. If you guys are interested, you can go watch that TikTok. So anyway, it's 10 to 4, and I think I'm gonna hop on a live with Diane Marie. I actually was live earlier today too, and I didn't think about filming, but I've been in a good mood today. So I woke up and I jumped on with Zara Hoffman on an Inimitable Books LLC, their channel, and I finished the one chapter. So the other day when I was talking about the chapter I was struggling with, I jumped back in after talking with Autumn, my CP, and I reread what I had and like tweaked a little bit, like added a little bit more, but otherwise I thought the chapter was actually better than I expected it to be. And I finished it. I think it's a shorter chapter, but it's okay because I just need to get through it in order to move on. And the end of the book is coming up, so that's exciting. So I hope that jumping on with Diane is going to get me one step closer to the end as well. And yeah, I actually got mail today from the Stygian Society, and it was basically like a welcome to, you know, be part of the society, and you know that they're publishing me, and they gave me my little honorary Stygian pin. I should have probably taken it out, but I'm so excited, and I'm gonna add it to my little pin collections, and it just means a lot. It's my first publication of any sort, and it's exciting. And yeah, so if you guys haven't pre-ordered, the link is down below, and using my specific link will give me kind of like a commission based. So if you want to support me individually as well as the collection, you can use my link, and that's gonna be out on July 1st. Anywho, I'm gonna jump on because I'm sure Diane's gonna be starting soon, so we're gonna get to writing. Hi friends, how are you? It's been a while since I've vlogged and since I've updated this. It's now June 17th, which is Saturday. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts, and I don't really want to take up a lot of time, but I just kind of want to share some of that with you and kind of let you know where the rest of this vlog is going to be going. So to start, I have been writing, and there's been plenty of opportunities where I could have filmed, and I went and did writing in my writing group, in the Salt Cave. I did writing at home. I plotted a whole book with my friend, a whole series actually. We plotted about 4 books of a series that we had started years and years ago, and yeah, it was a really good week. Like the highs were high, and I did a lot of creative stuff, and I felt really, really good. However, the lows have also been very low, and that I think is leading to why I haven't been filming, because when I'm getting swept up in those positive things, I'm just really dedicating the time to do that. And it's been wonderful, but it's not really content-wise good. So I kind of take it as I go, and just, if I forget to film, I forget to film. And it is what it is. Like, I'm not monetized. YouTube is just kind of a tracker for me, and I enjoy doing it, but it does take quite a lot of time, and my brain has been very occupied. So I'm not going to go into like all the lows of the week, but the main low was my licensure process has hit a bit of a wall. So it's very difficult, especially if you're not in this. I just don't really have the energy to explain all of it and, you know, how the process goes. But basically, they conditionally accepted something of mine, and they like, I need hours essentially, and they cut my hours in half for that condition. And now I have to wait to see if they will accept something else. And if they don't, I'm gonna have to wait about another 3 months maybe to get licensed, because I have to go and get those hours again. So yeah, it's just nonsense, and it sucks when I've been practicing for 6 years, but like in order to get that piece of paper, they want me to cross extra boxes and dot my I's and cross my T's, you know. So that's been rough. And like I said, that's where my lows have been hitting in, because also like trying to manage it and manage my expectations of things as well as the outcomes that are out of my control, it's been challenging. However, I have written quite a lot. Like I said, I had dug into Mermaid, and I am very close. I think the chapter I'm in, I believe I'm gonna have 3 chapters total. So the chapter I'm in and then 2 more, and that's the end of the book. And I feel good that I can like wrap it up and get going, because then eventually when I get back to editing, I will work out the kinks that I had left over. I still feel like the first draft is relatively strong, but you know, we'll see how it goes. And like I said, I also plotted out a book series. So my friend Kate and I had written books for quite some time together. And we had this monster of a book, and I mentioned this many times, like back in my early days of my channel. And we ended up splitting the book up into 3 separate plots, essentially. With the one plot we started reworking back in like 2021, and I had a whole series on the Rework Chronicles, which is a playlist on my channel. You can go back if you're interested. And then the other 2 books we kind of just put in the back burner. I wrote out some ideas for them, but then I never touched upon them. And then we just started talking about it. Out of nowhere, we were actually going to edit our rom-com, because the rom-com we finished, and we were gonna start editing that. And then we're like, oh my god, let's just talk about these ideas. And we went back and we just ended up plotting a whole series. So I'm really excited to eventually get back to working on that. We do have quite a lot written. We'll probably have to like edit and tweak and figure out, because those were part of a different story initially. So making sure that the flow and the purpose still makes sense for this story. But yeah, the next time we get together, I think we're actually going to sit down and actually plot it, as well as make a character map and some character sheets to make sure that all the details are still the same. That was awesome. And then lastly, I also submitted another story. So as of tomorrow is actually the due date. So by the time this vlog goes up, you guys are not going to be able to participate anymore, and I'm sorry for that. But there's a book box called Once Upon a Book Box. But they are asking for writers of any caliber. So they could be unpublished, newbie authors, or like published authors. And you just have to submit a writing sample of any sort up to 8,000 words. So it could be something from a book, it could be a short story, it could be anything. And they just want to see if they like your style and if they could work something into how you write into their collection that they're doing. So they are taking 12 authors, and they are going to give them like an item. So it's essentially, it's an advent calendar, a 12-day advent calendar. So each day of the advent calendar, you get an item. So the reader, you know, the person who gets the box will get one item. So let's say it's a scarf. And then the author that's paired with that item has to write that item into the story. So if they got a scarf, they have to somehow incorporate that scarf into the story. And I thought it was such a cool idea and such a good way to like kind of continue to be creative. And since I told myself it was gonna be my year of submitting, I'm like, we're just gonna go for it. Why not? So the short story I wrote, I'm just really proud of. I really love it. I feel like it gives me like such a whimsical fantasy vibe, and I hope that that's something that they enjoy. The nice thing is about the soundbite calendar is that it doesn't have to be a Christmas theme, and they don't want Christmas. They want like anything. So I'm very excited, because I feel like I could write something very cool. So we'll see. The due date is tomorrow on the 18th. So I don't know. I think they said by the 23rd they're actually going to pick. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that leads me up to today. It is the 17th, and the Storyteller's Hearth Write-a-thon is actually going on right now, but I have a stream tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I definitely overbooked my weekend on accident, but it is what it is. So I am going to be doing a 2.5 hour stream in the morning, and I'm going to try to get as much words as I can done. And I am very hopeful that I will power through and get most of Mermaid finished. My goal would be to have Mermaid finished by Monday, and I want to take you on that journey. So the rest of this vlog is just going to be finishing Mermaid. So I will continue this vlog until Mermaid is done, but I think it's going to be really soon. And I'm excited because I have a couple new things that I want to work on, including a short story, as well as plotting my fantasy series with my friend. And I want to start writing my vampire novel because I have a few ideas of what I might want to do for Nano. So we'll see like how far I get into vampire, but vampire's been outlined. So if I get vampire done, I might want to outline a new novel to start later in the year. So I have a lot of ideas, and I'm hoping that they're going to go well. But first and foremost, we're going to finish my mermaid book. So with that said, that's where I've been, even though for you guys it's just going to be another clip, but it feels like I took such a time away. Otherwise, like I said, the highs have been really good. I have now picked up golf as a hobby. I've gone 2 weekends in a row, and because this weekend is Father's Day weekend in the United States and I'm too busy, we're going to continue next week and we're going to try to make it every Sunday night. So I have been slowly acquiring my own golf items. It's just weird to me because I never thought that would be a thing I do, but I do like playing it way more than I like watching it. Like my husband's currently watching golf and it's so boring, so I don't like that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'll let you know how things go, and we will talk soon. Tuesday, June 20th, and I know I said the other day that I would finish my book on Monday, and I could have, but I also couldn't have because I overbooked myself on Sunday and Monday, and you know, this is my life. I am realistic, guys. My life is very complex right now, and I have a lot of things, and also I just want to be honest with myself that I am an extrovert. I like doing things. I have plans all the time. I am not home a lot, especially in the summer when I love being outdoors and doing outdoor activities. So we didn't finish it, but I did write a little bit more on Sunday night. I also started a new short story. If you guys are watching this, obviously in the future, you've already missed it, but I did a live editing and critique on my channel, which you can find in the live section. It's about an hour long, and I go through how I critiqued my own story and then started to do a rewrite and kind of and talked through what I expected of a rewrite, if it was like, you know, not my work, and like what I was going to do with it. And I was just kind of offering some insight, and that was great. And now we're here on Tuesday, and I just needed to come on because as much as I have not been writing today at all because I was working until 3:30 and it was a busy day, I have been really struggling with my state licensure. I haven't been talking about it much, but there's been a couple hiccups that have been going on, which are out of my control, but it is slowing the process down a lot, and I may still need to do another like 2 months of things in order to get my license. So I may not get my license by the end of the summer like I expected, and it sucks. But one thing that I just got informed of is that I am now a national certified counselor. So it's not my state licensure, but it is a certification, and I now am, my full legal name, Masters of Art, NCC. So I get to add a nice little NCC to the end of my name. And I am trying to process that. That also had a hiccup, which again wasn't my fault, but like they didn't tell me the next step that I needed to take to get my certification. So I had been wondering what was going on with it. I emailed, no one got back to me. I ended up calling, and then finally they told me what I needed, and they had sent me the form I needed to fill out, which I could not find on anywhere on their website. And because I did that, thank God, I got certified today. So I have a certificate that I now have in my possession. They're actually they said up to 8 weeks I'll be mailing my welcome packet, but I'm now an NCC, and this is just, it's amazing, and I'm letting myself be happy. I know it's not the step that I need, essentially. Like, my licensure is what's going to help me actually, like, practice more, but the NCC is a really good tool, and it gives me a little bit, like, street cred, kind of. And I'm happy, and I honestly am getting, like, kind of emotional. Not now, but, like, I was about to cry a couple times, just, like, getting excited. Like, I did it. This has been such a long road and a bumpy one. It's still not completely over, but out of the 2 items I've been trying to get, my NCC and my LPC, I have one of them finally, and I can kind of put that to the wayside. I mean, it's never going to be over. I need to recertify eventually, but, like, you know what I mean? For now, I have that credential, and we can just feel good about it. So I just wanted to come in and say this. I don't have a writing update right now, but I just want to share that moment. It's really happy for me, and just kind of is a small relief. So I will update again when I finish my novel or I get close to it, but hope y'all are hanging in there. It's Monday, June 26th, and we're so close to being done. I wrote on Saturday, and I wrote, like, I don't know, 700 some words. I'm, like, mid-chapter, maybe 3/4 of my chapter 32, and chapter 33 is the intended last chapter, at least for draft 1. And truthfully, like, I don't want to write today. I think it's a combination of 2 things. One, I'm exhausted. I did not sleep well last night. I ended up, I utilized the time. I wasn't, like, doom scrolling, or I wasn't, just staring at the ceiling. I did read a book, and I was really hoping that was going to lull me into a sleep, because it normally does. But then I got to the end of the book, and it was, like, 10:30, and I'm like, why am I still not tired? So then, like, I made a list, because I was like, okay, I have so much buzzing in my brain now. Like, maybe if I make my list and, like, get that out of my head so I'm not thinking about it, that would help. I don't know when I fell asleep, but I'm exhausted. The second issue I'm having is that it's so muggy and humid here. It's not even, like, the temperature itself isn't super high. It's like 70s, high 70s, but it's so humid, and right now it's been, like, teasing whether or not it's going to storm. Like, we'll get, like, a couple cracks of thunder and then nothing, and then we'll get, like, a light rain, and then it stops immediately. So it looks like it just wants to downpour, but it hasn't. So I'm just struggling because I'm melting. Like, anytime I move more than 5 feet, I'm sweating, which is also why I don't have my lights on, because it's so hot, and I'm not going to put the lights on. So if this clip is dark, I'm sorry. I can't torture myself. But this is going to be one of those days where I don't want to write necessarily, but I'm going to do it, because the goal would be is I at least need to finish chapter 32 today, and then I have one more chapter, and then I can finish this vlog and celebrate with you guys. It might seem like I am not doing a lot, but I have been. So, stay tuned for my June updates, like my wrap up, because I'll talk a little bit more about all the stuff that I have been doing. It just isn't coming across probably that way in this vlog, because it's been so chaotic. But hey, we love a month-long vlog. So yeah, as much as I don't want to write, I am going to force myself, and we are going to finish chapter 32, because I have nothing to do for a little bit, and I desperately want to have this vlog done by, like, Wednesday at the latest. So this could go up by the last day of June if necessary. So I'm going to check in, but I wanted to just say that it's a rough go, and I'm tired and I'm hot. And some days it's just days you don't want to write, but some days you need to do it to get through, because I have a lot of deadlines coming up in July, both personal life and writing, and I just need Mermaid to be done so I can take a breather from it in July and come back to it in August. So yeah. All right, let's go, because now I'm procrastinating. So, all right, wish me well. Remember when I said I didn't want to write today? Well, I might have just written one of my favorite scenes I've ever written. I mean, who knows? When you force yourself to write, sometimes things happen. So yeah, I ended up just writing 857 words to end my chapter 32.
The scene got a little bit hotter and heavier than I expected it to be, but like it makes sense. It's also like the last chapter to the end when shit is gonna hit the fan. I'm leaving the book on a cliffhanger, so at this point in time, my critique partners are probably gonna riot, but like the readers eventually will probably riot too. I've accepted this book, even though it could likely work for like a standalone. It should probably have a sequel, but I just really like what I wrote. So yeah, I just feel like it's bringing, like, all the emotions are crashing in, and like there's like the fear and the pain and the lust and the love and the what ifs all happening at once, and we're gonna be hitting a really, really heavy last chapter. So I'm very excited. Like, I just got so rejuvenated from writing this, and I'm so happy right now. But yeah, so I'm gonna end it, I think, for now, and I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, and we'll just see if I finish writing it. But I think my next check-in is gonna be when I'm ending the book, so we're almost there. It takes control of me. You make me crazier than a lunatic. Liberate, liberate. Don't forget me that way. It's a different taste. Liberate, liberate. I did it. We wrote the end of the book. It's such a weird feeling. Like, this isn't the first time I finished a novel anymore, but it still feels like unbelievable, you know, that we got there. I finished. Project Mermaid has been completed. Its first draft is done. And I honestly feel like we're gonna be moving very quickly on this next couple steps, but we're not quite there. I do just need to do one thing. We finished draft 1. Yeah, so it's been a little weird journey for Project Mermaid. I still don't have a title for it. I've jotted down a few ideas every now and then one night I thought I had a really good idea for the novel. Didn't write it down, went to bed and forgot about it. So yeah, I have some ideas, but none of them feel right to me. They all feel very cheap or just stupid. So we're working on a title, but I have finished it, and this novel has been like a journey. This is probably not the first time I've said it on this channel, but if you are new here, and I've had a lot of new subscribers, so hi, I tend to marinate my ideas for a very long time. This particular novel, so if anybody watched my review, revise, submit series that I just started, I only have one video out in that live stream series where I edit and give critiques on how I would, you know, continue to edit and work on the story, and then maybe resubmit them down the road to something. Back when I was in college in like 2011, I want to say, I took this writing course, and the idea of this mermaid killing a prince of land came to me, and it was just like a 2-page flash fiction piece, and I wrote it very, very quickly and dirty, and it wasn't very good, but I always thought that that would be a very cool idea to make into a novel. Like, oh, like, how did we get there? Like, if that's the end of the book, how did we get there? And it took me a long time. It took me 9 years to finally want to figure out and get to the point. I sat on it, I tried to think of motivation, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, flash forward to 2020 when I finally got the idea and got the pieces and tried to put it together. And I wrote about 40,000 words for Mermaid back in 2020. And then in June of 2021, I went back to school to finish some hours in classes that I didn't have in order to get my licensure. And that's, you know, you guys are probably sick of me talking about it by now, but yeah. From 2021 until the end of last year was a rough go, so my pacing and getting through the rest of Mermaid has been slower, and it's not been consistent. So it's not like I can say that I've written this novel for 2 years. It's probably not been like a very long chunk. It's been a few months, I think, in time, if I was going to try to panel it out and say how consistently I wrote, but it feels a lot longer because I've had gaps where like just months and months went by. Like, I think a whole year went by before I even looked at Mermaid again. It's been a journey, but I finished it, and the fact that I got to the ending and I wrote the end, it feels good, you know? This is my 4th full-length novel, Technically 5th if you count my co-written romance novel that I just finished not too long ago too. But yeah, it feels good. So for my stats people, like I said, I can't really tell you a timeline of how long this took me to write from start to finish, but it is ending at 75,684 words for my first draft, which I think is pretty solid. That gives me, you know, about 25,000 words to grow with if I want to get up towards 100,000. I'd like the second draft to be between 90 and 100,000 because I know there's places I need to beef up and add description and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm there. We're done. Woo! Like I said already, I think the next couple steps are gonna be very fast paced. I would like to take a month off and work on my Camp Nano goals in July. I'm gonna take a break from novel writing and just focus completely on my short stories. I'm hoping to write at least 3 new ones, if not maybe a 4th. And I would like to write these stories to submit. I have 2 to 3 of them with like ideas of where I want to submit them to. And then come August, I'm hoping that giving a month, you know, ish in time will hopefully get the rest of my CPs to finish their reading. I know one is definitely in, and I haven't heard back from a few people, and I know life gets in the way, so I don't know if I'm gonna have as many CPs with this project, because again, it's taken me quite a long time. It wasn't something that I could just sit down and read through, and I wasn't giving them like weekly chapters, so it's probably my own fault. I just kind of was letting it very loosely go, but I did send them a message to say that I'm done, and if they could let me know if they are still committed to finishing it. So we'll see where that goes. I'm hoping that they can read through and finish it by July, because some of them are already into the story, so it will just be maybe refreshing their minds or just continuing. And then come August, so depending on where I get with their feedback, I'm gonna start doing my rough synopses and query letters, and I'm gonna be starting my editing. So we're gonna figure out where we're going, and then probably in August I'm gonna start maybe putting a call out for beta readers. I'm not saying that people are gonna get it in August, but they might be more September. But I would like to be able to, by the end of August, start to send out rounds of beta readers, just to get a second set of eyes, like feedback, and have them have the whole novel. So I think I am gonna open it up to the internet. I'm going to probably select a few people, but, you know, if you're interested in beta reading, keep an eye out for a post. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. But for now, I am just going to take a breath because we fucking got there. I think I'm in shock right now that it actually happened, but I think I'm going to be able to celebrate this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. And there's just a lot of good things that are happening this week to end. Like, I just finished. It's Tuesday, June 27th. I have a live stream on Friday, so maybe I get to start my short story early. On Saturday, I get to do the Stygian kickoff launch party with our patrons who were like our top supporters for the Stygian collection Kickstarter. And it's exciting stuff, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you guys for taking this journey. It was a whole month's worth of vlogging, but we met the goal. I wanted to finish this book in June. I did it with 4 days remaining. So thank you guys. I wish you guys well. Let me know what you accomplished in June, and catch you in my June wrap up, because I'm gonna have some more stuff to talk about writing related that I didn't include in this vlog. So until next time guys, I'll see you then. Bye.